Learning is durable when students are doing something in the classroom. You cannot be a passive participant in the educational life at Pingree. You have to be active, and APEX is the pinnacle of that. Every APEX class at Pingree is going to require 4 things. It's going to require that students are going to engage in rigorous thinking, that students are going to be able to make intentional curricular connections from one discipline to another. They're going to have to engage in intentional research and original creation based on what they're learning in those classes. And the 4th pillar, which is perhaps the most essential, is that there's going to be a component of civic engagement. How are you using what you're learning in the classroom to support the world around you?
One course that's doing that is Apex Engineering, where students had to design and modify floating wind turbines for offshore wind, which is a big issue right here in New England. It's a really hard project because engineers are working on that same issue today.
I love how it's a really complex topic. When we build wind turbines and you understand like the torque and you understand like the reasons why it works. Driving around like Gloucester and you see the wind turbines and like we talked about it in class today, you're able to just like connect it to like real world situations, which I love.
Pingree felt the need to move in this direction because we want to have a curriculum that adapts to the interests of our students, the talents of our faculty, and the needs of our world.
APEX gives us the flexibility to create advanced programs that are mission aligned, right? That reflect our values institutionally. I used to teach AP US history before this, and one of my big issues with that curriculum is that it was always a very narrow focus in a lot of ways. And I think our thought with APEX was we can teach a great history course, but we can bring in those different voices. That can be more than what an AP course could be.
I kind of like think of it as a garden that you water because you really get what you put into it, and the APEX program is really designed like away from like that normal like AP structure.
All right, next slide, please.
It's a harder course, so the workload is harder, but it's meaningful, and the teachers try really hard to make sure that meaning is evident in your work.
It's really rigorous in terms of think load. Like, what are the things you're thinking about? The courses they're taking and the education they're getting a little less compartmentalized and a little bit more holistic and integrated.
I think it really deepens my learning, and I'll be able to apply these different projects I've learned and tools that I've developed to my job one day.
There are many schools that have impressive programs, and I would put Pingree at the head of that list. But there are a few schools that work with students to understand the why behind that for them.
The why behind learning is really important. APEX program is highlighting that. It's really about instilling lifelong learning, and that doesn't happen just because you take a test. It happens because you're doing something that you feel is meaningful, that you're learning about something you're excited about, that you can make connections to how this topic relates to the world that you're inhabiting and moving through, and that's by design at Pingree.
The really exciting part of APEX is that the students bring a lot of that energy from their learning over the years.
Pingree prepares you as a student, but also as a person, and it gives you those skills you need to just have the courage to try something new.
I think Pingree's definitely helped me develop those life skills, being able to reach out to people, problem-solving skills to keep moving forward, which will definitely help me next year in college.
They're going to remember not only what they learned in those classes and what they did in those classes, but they're also going to learn the skills they needed to cultivate to do original work in those courses. And those skills are what's going to help them to adapt to the unknowns of a future.